Xiamen City, Fujian Province is an important central city on China's southeast coast and one of the first 4 special economic zones to open up to the outside world. As China's economy continues to decline, Xiamen's economy is also in a depression. This is the experience of a beauty shop owner.
给你们看看我曾经辉煌的样子。
Let me show you how glorious I used to be. Last year, I had several $100,000 in assets and owned 2 beauty salons, a hotel, 2 apartments, and 2 cars. However, 3 years of the pandemic coupled with being defrauded of several $100,000 this year have left me penniless and deeply in debt, losing even my apartment, car, and pride, which is the most worthless. Recently, I have been trying to get back on my feet. I don't mind if you laugh, I only have a few dollars in my pocket. Many people have asked me what to do next. Being employed to pay off my debts or continue to start businesses. If I work for someone else, I will never have another chance to change my life. I'm already 42 years old. How many more years can I work for someone else? Some people might ask that with no resources or money, how can you start a business?
在这个社会里，你创业还有机会吗？
Amid the declining economy in Xiamen, even officials with the iron rice bowls within the Chinese communist system are having a hard time. The blogger revealed,
震惊连厦门的公务员现在
Xiamen officials are facing a salary-cutting storm. The iron rice bowls are leaking. Even Xiamen officials have to tighten their belts now. I have heard that this wave of salary cuts and layoffs is getting worse and worse. The once indestructible iron rice bowls are no longer able to pay salaries. Yesterday, I had dinner with a friend who works in the system. He sighed helplessly and said the local debt is so excessive that even the wages are in trouble. Fortunately, their social insurance and provident funds are still holding up. This is the current difficult situation of Xiamen civil servants. The blogger said these officials also need to feed themselves and support their families. Car loans and mortgages are enormous burdens. Can they not go crazy if their wages are delayed for one night? Of course, factory bosses are even more helpless in this economic environment.
很多现在打工人
Nowadays, many workers complain that they can't make any money and can't find a job. They say their bosses are heartless. In fact, the bosses are also very confused. They have sold their homes and maxed out their credit cards just to keep the company running, but there are no orders. This is really annoying. Is the manufacturing industry in decline now? Xiamen mainly relies on real estate and tourist attractions to maintain economic growth. With the cold winter that China's real estate market has experienced, Xiamen's housing market has also been hit hard, and the worst off are those struggling for their mortgages. Do you know how many people in Xiamen default on their mortgage payments every day? And how many people have to deliver food to pay their mortgages? Do you know how stressful it is to pay a mortgage every month? Let me tell you a true story. A few days ago, a man came into my store with his wife's 3 pieces of golden jewelry and asked if he could exchange them for ones with gold just outside but silver inside. He wanted to exchange the margin for some money. I asked him why he wanted to trade this away. He told me a story. He was working at Xiamen Software Company in 2022, and the treatment was not bad at that time. He wanted to get married, so he bought a second-hand apartment over 90 square meters, which cost $520,000. Although he had to pay a mortgage of about $1,000 a month, he was very happy because he had made a home in Xiamen. But in 2024, the apartment prices in this man's neighborhood dropped by half, resulting in a loss of about $250,000 over 2 years. The man has been laid off at the same time, while monthly mortgage payments cannot be reduced to any extent. His child had just been born, so he needs money for formula and diapers. The whole family needs living expenses, as well as the payments of neighborhood management fees and condo fees. The most frightening thing is that this man has applied for many jobs in the last 6 months, but many companies think he is too old and don't want him. He has no choice but to deliver takeout food to make a living. The man said he never thought he would be a delivery guy, and he would not do it if he had no mortgage. This realtor said, I have a client who stopped making payments. Now his apartment would be sold for around $220,000. But the client owes almost $314,000 in debt because of this apartment. He can't pay such debt. There is no way to pay. Meanwhile, at least half of the properties in Xiamen cannot be sold because there's no buyers. There are currently more than 25,880 resale properties listed in Xiamen, and new listings are being added every day. In fact, the transaction cycle is getting longer and longer, and many properties are difficult to sell at a loss. And the current situation is that people are checking more but buying less. Many homes have actually lost their financial attributes and liquidity, not to mention any investment value. What's more, new apartments are cheaper than used ones, so it's normal to drop 20,000 when you plan to sell the apartment. The situation in this neighborhood in Guangzhou is similar, which is sad. This is one blogger's experience. Can you believe it? Even Guangzhou's Baiyu and Wanda can't maintain the business. This is the Shanghai Auntie, the #1 chicken restaurant. Most of the shops are looking for tenants. Popular shops are for transfer. The whole street is empty, and the total number of people walking here does not exceed 10. Coming to this place today makes me feel a complete disappointment. I heard that the shops on Gold Street cost several $100,000 to buy, but now they can't even rent them for half the rental fees. The business seems really bad this year. I called the landlord and he told me that in the past he could rent for $1,700 to $1,900 a month, but now no one will rent for about $500 a month. People have less and less money in their pockets, and everyone is thinking about how to save money, so taxi drivers are fighting for customers. Nowadays, passengers really can't afford taxis. Most people have no money in their pockets. I just spent over an hour in Guangzhou without getting anyone. I can't get business from a ride-hailing service app, and it's also not easy to get the business from a ride-sharing service app within the city. I found 3 carpool orders in the town from downtown Guangzhou to Xintang, Guangzhou. That app is a carpool order app, which means that I put 3 orders together and mix 4 passengers from downtown Guangzhou to Xintang. The whole trip was probably 40 to 50 kilometers of picking up different passengers. What I totally collected is about $13.6 and the trip took 2 or 3 hours. That is to say, people have no money to afford taxis, really, and they want to save every penny. Taxi drivers like us then have no orders. Even if it's a short ride inside the town, I surely will take it, just to earn a few dollars, just to make a living. The downturn of Guangzhou's economy in 2024 is reflected in the decline of many industries. What are the worst industries in Guangzhou this year? Such as cat cafes, mystery scripture games, decoration materials, art training, florists, jewelry, nail salons, mother and baby stores, and advertising companies. Some of these industries are making less money, and some are losing money. In fact, the worst thing is that they haven't even recouped the cost of the business. Can I ask if any businesses in Guangzhou are not miserable? The whole beauty industry is having a hard time. Let's go to Beauty Expo City and see how things are. If the situation in Beauty Expo City is good, then there is still hope for our industry. Only us, almost no other customer. In the past, when I came here, I couldn't walk at all. Now, no people here, only the shopkeepers playing with their cell phones. No one at all, no one in the whole building, no one. This is a garment city that used to be full of people. The man said that if your store still has business and you could get some income, then you should cherish it because so many people are in trouble. At least 2,000 cosmetics factories have closed down in Guangzhou this year. The whole physical enterprise is now in a state of bankruptcy. Some of the ones that seem to be doing well are false prosperity. The truth is they have no profit at all because of the terrible price competition. The blogger said there was only 1 or 2 weeks of prosperity for most cosmetics factories in the year of 2024. It was not good to lay off the workers they had just hired in just 1 or 2 weeks. The factory owners tried their best to last 1 month and then had to lay off the workers. The economic downturn in Guangzhou is also reflected in the continued decline in housing prices. Some people have posted the 5 neighborhoods in Guangzhou with the most severe decline. The reselling property market in Guangzhou in 2023 is shocking. The extent of the price drop is beyond imagination. There are 5 neighborhoods where real estate prices have so badly plummeted. Let's talk about the 5th one, Whampoa Middle Sea City. In 2021, the property price was $5,592 USD per square meter, but now it's $2,864. This is a 48% drop. Isn't it scary? The fourth one goes to the Asian Game City in Panyu. The average price 2 years ago was around 4,092 per square meter, but now it's a good deal at 2,046. The drop is as high as 50%. The blogger said that Times Fortune, which ranked third, used to sell for more than 5,000 per square meter, but now you can pick it up for 2,455 per square meter, a drop of 53%. The once high price seems like a dream. The second one is Field Ivy. At that time, it relied on speculation to open one high-quality middle school. The land price once reached 4,092 per square meter. Now it's only $1,773 per square meter, a decrease of 56%. The first is Zhenchang Divine Village No. 1. When it launched, the price was 2,319 per square meter for the rough apartments without finishings. Now you can't find anyone to take over when you sell it for 955 per square meter, a decrease of 58%. The blogger said that these homeowners are at their wits' end. When housing prices fall, people will do anything to limit their losses. Overnight, all the landlords in this flower city, Guangzhou, are crazily selling their properties. They are selling at the prices, even losing all the down payments. At present, there are 11,500 resale properties in the city, including those listed by the agency like the Shell. There are also 50 new housing projects, not to mention properties sold through auctions and other methods. Where can you find so many buyers? Our previous concept was that the more apartments you had, the richer you were, right? Nowadays, the opposite. The blogger said that especially 2 years ago, those investors who bought property in the Huadu Lake area paid nearly 4,092 to 4,774 per square meter. Now, the price per square meter is around 2,700. It's simply easy to lose around 136,000 per unit. The competition in the North Shore West was fierce then, and now the price cuts are just the same miserable. The per square meter price has dropped from around 3,100 to around 2,100. The key is that it's not easy to sell, and the owner's down payments on such apartments are already gone. Those investors who wanted to make a lot of money have become victims when buying at the time of high prices. For those who have bought an apartment to live in, the situation is unbearable too. I borrowed money to buy an apartment, and now I'm deeply in debt. This is the second year I have stopped paying the mortgage. Now the house is in foreclosure. In 2020, I spent almost $273,000 to buy the apartment and put a down payment of more than $80,000. The loan is for more than $190,000 with a monthly payment of $1,100. I stopped making payments in 2023 and was surprised that I still owed nearly $246,000 on the loan. Within 2 years, I had paid off nearly $26,000, and the remaining $23,200 was interest. 6 months later, I was sued by the bank, which not only repossessed my apartment but also froze my bank card and even the little money in my WeChat account. The mortgage, default interest, legal fees, property preservation fees, etc. add up to about $20,000. 2 days ago, the court called me saying that the apartment was going to be auctioned. The appraised value is around $260,000, and the starting price is 30% off, which is only $177,000. The man said that if the apartment is auctioned off, he will not only lose the apartment, but also owe more than $70,000 to the bank. After careful calculation, he realized that his losses over the past 2 years had reached $136,400. This is also a microcosm of what happens to many homeowners after they default on their mortgage. According to a report in China News Weekly, Guangzhou's GDP for the first 3 quarters of 2024 was 2,214.995 billion RMB, an annual increase of 2%. However, this growth rate ranked last among the top 10 GDP cities in China. Xiamen's GDP from January to June 2024 was 54.336 billion, ranking third in Fujian province. However, judging from the video above, the real economic situation in Xiamen is bleak. It seems that no matter how devastated people's livelihoods are, the CCP is still singing the bright economic theory. And the fact that economically developed cities like Xiamen and Guangzhou are experiencing the above-mentioned economic problems shows that the Chinese economy is still in a state of stagnation. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with your friends. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.